Good day, AP Biology students. Welcome to video lecture episode 11. Today we're going to start a new chapter, that being chapter 32. Chapter 32 is titled Basic Principles of Animal Form and Function. To start off with, on slide number 1, I just got 3 warm-up questions for you to work on. The first one says define and give an example of homeostasis. The second one says sequence the organization of living things from cell to biome. And 3, describe negative and positive feedback. Alright, so let's move into chapter 32 once again. That's Basic Principles of Animal Form and Function. Now let's just take a look at an overview just real quickly. Diverse forms, common challenges. So let's talk about anatomy and physiology. Anatomy is the study of the biological form, the structure of an organism. And physiology is the study of the biological functions an organism performs. Structure dictates function. Just keep that in mind. Alright. Now looking at slide 4, we see an example of a rabbit with some fairly large ears. I'm sure maybe some of you have seen a picture of a rabbit like this before. I believe this is a jackrabbit if memory serves me correctly. Now let's move to slide 5. Animal form and function are correlated at all levels of organization. Size and shape affect the way an animal interacts with its environment. Many different animal body plans have evolved and are determined by the genome. Okay, let's move on to slide 6. Slide 6 just briefly states the hierarchical organization of body plans, and that's from cells to tissues to organ systems, going from the smallest to the larger. Okay, now if you look at the table 40.1 on slide 6, you're going to see a breakdown of the organ system, the components, and its functions. So the components in the system would be referring to its anatomy, and then of course its physiology in the main function section on that table as well. Now let's move into slide 7. There's 4 main types of tissue I'd like you to know, like you to be able to understand. And the first one is epithelial, which covers the outside of the body and lines the organs and cavities within the body. Then there's connective tissue, which binds and supports other tissue. Think cartilage, tendons, ligaments, bone, blood, adipose. A third type is muscle, which controls body movement. Think skeletal, smooth, cardiac. And lastly, nervous tissue, which senses stimuli and transmits signals through the animal, through the neurons and the glia. Okay, if you look at slide 8, I have an example here of epithelial tissue with this image of a wolf. Slide 9, there's an example of connective tissue representing, looks like a human joint here, the knee, so to speak. Slide 10, we go back to our wolf, and we got some examples of muscle tissue, both some microscopic images as well as labeling out where they'd be located. And lastly today we're going to stop on slide 11, which has some images of neurons and glia in regards to nervous tissue. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. I do hope the lecture has been helpful. Have a nice day. Take care.